So I'm going to be going through holiday predictions today and holiday trends, e-commerce trends. As you can imagine, and I'm sure you've heard from a number of speakers today and at other events, trends and predictions we're seeing have been probably the most mind-blowing in the last maybe 2 to 3 decades. The impact of the pandemic on the commerce landscape, the online shopping landscape, the digital engagement landscape has just been unprecedented. And we'll go through some of these figures today. But what really excites me about this presentation is that based on patterns we've seen in history, halfway through the presentation, I'm going to share with you our predictions. And actually, we're going to find out very soon if one of those predictions will come true, because it's related to Amazon Prime Day. And we don't yet have the data to confirm it, but we'll see in the next few weeks if we were right about that one. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to share with you guys is factual. It's actual data. And the latter stages is going to be predictions. So, you know, I would advise you to make business decisions based on multiple sources of data, but you can take this as an influence towards your decisions and your preparation for the holiday season, which is pretty much upon us right now. So just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen very quickly. One sec. Let's pull this out here. Boom. And you guys let me know once you can see that. Share screen. Is it this one? Okay, let's share this one here. See what happens. Right,
yep, I can see your Google Doc presentation folder, and I'm enjoying quickly scanning and seeing all these luscious decks. Yeah, we got definitely, you. Good, thank you.
Definitely not the right one, but yeah. All good. If I go into one thing I don't like about Zoom is if I go into presenter mode, do you still see it?
We can. Oh, we lost you again. But
I'm going to share again because I think I have to go into presenter mode and then share, which is a Zoom specific thing that I'm not crazy about.
Certainly.
Yeah, that should work. All right, sweet. So we should be in the 2020 holiday shopping predictions.
Yeah, we've got you. Thank you, Femi.
Brilliant. Okay, guys, I'll try to keep to my time, but I expect you guys to be intrigued, slightly entertained. I'm a bit of a geek. I love statistics. I love talking about commerce growth and consumer behavior. And we're quite fortunate here at Salesforce that we represent probably the largest SaaS enterprise commerce platform in the world in terms of revenue. So, you know, we processed about $47.5 billion last year alone through the platform, across about 5,000 enterprise websites. So, you know, the average Commerce Cloud customer is doing about $50 million a year online. And all of this revenue is digital. It's all online revenue. So we, as a shared solution, we can look at and understand the behaviors of the customers who are coming onto those platforms. So already a fantastic introduction from Steve. So I don't need to remind you who I am. I've been in e-commerce 11 years. I will say thank you again, because I know that it's a very difficult time for lots of us. I think Ireland has just hit level 4 lockdown. So, you know, a lot of our places have been digressing back to what we saw in the initial stages of the pandemic. Yet here you are spending 30 minutes of your time with me to learn about commerce trends and predictions. So thank you so much, each and every one of you on this session. I truly appreciate from the bottom of my heart your time. And I hope to make good value of it. So where's the data coming from? We have amalgamated an analysis of approximately 1 billion shoppers. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, we transact a tremendous amount of revenue on the platform across 5,000 enterprise websites globally, but we've not taken all of that data into consideration because some of our customers opt out, most of them opt in. And then of course, it's based on quarter to quarter. So what we're looking at primarily is Q2 2019 versus Q2 2020. And what kind of patterns of behavior did we see in digital commerce and digital behavior in the market from then to here? And across that period, Q2 2020, we saw about 1 billion shoppers, unique shoppers hit the platform, right? So let's look at the trends that we identified. So trends we identified, first and foremost, no surprises, guys. Flatlining is bricks and mortar stores. Now, flatlining is actually not too bad. It's not been declining too heavily, but versus last year, we've seen that a lot of this stuff has maintained the same level. Now, across Europe and North America, we know when this report was first written, approximately 1 million employees had been furloughed. But of course, that's probably tripled now. So this has been a massive blow to the economy and a massive blow to bricks and mortar stores. And of course, retail square foot has dropped by about 60% across Europe and North America, with about 60% of stores closing at least for a week during the pandemic. Some countries different to others. So this has been a massive blow. On the positive side, as expected, we've seen some significant growth in digital commerce. So 20% digital growth, 1 billion global shoppers, and about 15% increase in revenue, and a 40+% increase in unique shoppers, right? This is all quite standard, though, having said that. This is Q1, by the way, guys. I should have said that at the start. So this is all quite standard. It's not on the digital side, this is kind of the standard growth we see on our platform, usually about 20 to 35%, right? So real life goes digital. Now, off the back of the pandemic, what we've seen that's going to influence a lot of your understandings today is commerce aside, online purchasing aside, our behaviors as individuals and business people and shoppers has changed completely. So we've seen quadruple increase in video streaming. Online shopping has maybe tripled, if not quadrupled as well. Browsing the internet, just going on the internet, is up 50%, right? We've seen people using social media platforms over 40% more than we usually do. Listening to streaming is up 30%. Quick story, I run a gaming business outside of work. I used to be a pro esports player, so I'm a bit of a geek in my spare time. My accountant looks after a number of people like me, gaming personalities, gaming, ex-pros or whatever it might be. He looks after streamers, and he has about 13 streamers on his portfolio, and he does their taxes. Twitch is a streaming platform for people who want to watch video game entertainment, so competitions in gaming. He said his 13 streamers, some of them relatively unknown, all saw at least 200% increase in revenue off the back of the pandemic. So not only are we seeing on a large scale things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime Video all increasing in subscribers because people are stuck at home and they want to do things to entertain themselves. Even on the smaller scale, the individual small business representatives are also seeing tremendous increase in customer engagement. That's relevant to you guys because that transcends also to shopping, social media, and you have an opportunity to capitalize on the increased engagement opportunities we're seeing from consumers across a multitude of different engagement platforms. Another example is Freeletics, which is an app for working out at home. I've had the app for about 2 years. Didn't use it. Don't judge me. I've started using it now the last few months, and I'm happy to say I'm lost a considerable amount of weight. They had 1 million downloads when the pandemic started on Android. They now have over 10 million downloads in the space of 3 months. That just goes to show digital has always been a pivotal part of our world, but it's becoming more and more the new norm. Now let's look at shopping, because that was like general digital engagement. Shopping and spending in relation to pandemic announcements. So March 11th, who declares a pandemic? What happens to digital commerce? So digital revenue is the green line you see here, always growing anyway. And blue is the cases that we're seeing that are being reported by the media. The more cases reported, the more people don't want to go outside, the more stores are closing, the more the only way to shop is online. So naturally, you see a significant trend here as when the cases increase, the digital revenue significantly increase because everyone is just sticking to shopping online. So as much as this is not a convenient situation, and it's not a situation that we're happy about, of course, the overall does not justify, the ends does not justify the means overall. There's still something to be done here in terms of you guys as a business. There's still an opportunity to capitalize. And a number of businesses who have survived this pandemic or even thrived in this pandemic have capitalized on this exact thing. This revenue increase and this increased consumer engagement in digital environments is what you have the opportunity to capitalize on in this current state. Now, we mentioned our usual growth is 20 to 35%. Check this out. Q2 2020 versus Q2 2019. Digital revenue growth saw our largest spike in our history as a platform. What are we, 24 years old as a platform? Sorry, forgive me. I think we're 16 years old as a platform, right? 71% year-on-year revenue growth. Bear in mind, I just told you guys, we put through over $40 billion through the platform last year. So in a quarter, any given quarter, you could imagine we're doing 10 to 15 billion on the platform. What is 71% of 10 to 15 billion? That's the amount of revenue we've seen go through our platform in an increase versus last year. More interestingly for you guys who have bricks and mortar stores, buy online, pick up in store sites. So sites that offered buy online, pick up in store in Q2 have seen a 127% increase versus shops that didn't offer it. Shops that didn't offer it still saw a 54% increase. Just imagine that impact on your revenue, 127% increase from Q2 2020. So the pandemic has had a tremendous impact on consumer behavior and their shopping online. And clearly, shopping online has become the new norm for a number of these industries and a number of these customer groups. Ordering from social channels. So we mentioned social media is seeing much more traffic at the moment. Ordering from social channel, we've got Instagram buyable images on Commerce Cloud, our platform, but you can also integrate this yourself on your own platform through a custom layer or a custom integration. You've got Pinterest. You've now got Snapchat ads that lead you to a website. So orders that have come from online social channels, Q2 2020 versus Q2 2019, 104% increase. Again, that is a record on our platform, right? So just to show the statistic we saw earlier with customers being more, just imagine the footfall around your physical store increased by 700%. What's that going to do to the transactions in your physical store? That's exactly what's happening in online e-commerce. But you need to be prepared to capitalize on it. If you don't have social connectors, social channels, and buyable images on your social channels, then you're not going to see this like other customers are, right? The reason our customers have seen this is because we do all of this out of the box and they're able to leverage those capabilities. So social media has become a much more important revenue generation channel, not just a marketing stream anymore, guys. Okay, so the new norm here is, and this is a bit more of the negativity, and you're going to understand why the customers are doing buy online, pick up in store, right? The challenge a lot of companies have faced is the online growth has been unprecedented. Imagine 71% what that actually means, guys. A 71% increase is not something that you prepare to forecast as a massive organization like some of the customers we have. That's like, and that's changing. If you're a customer that's seeing already a 20% growth, maybe you went down by 10% if you were in furniture. But if you were in grocery, you saw a 400% increase in revenue, in orders. So what's happened on the negative side is the ability to fulfill the orders, the ability to supply available stock has been significantly impacted by the pandemic and the COVID-19 crisis. So a lot of businesses have been increasing revenue, increasing customer engagement, customer acquisition, but they've actually been decreasing in customer satisfaction and order fulfillment, which is not where anyone wants to be. To be fair, we couldn't have predicted this explosion, right? Now's the time to adapt. So this is us leading towards the prediction, guys, right? We're anticipating a second wave. We know in the winter, there's going to be a lot of symptoms similar to COVID-19 that a lot of people are going to panic about. Government's already starting to enforce second lockdowns. Like I said, Dublin's just gone into level 4. So we need to be prepared to respond better than what we did earlier when the pandemic hit us for the first time. Now we've had the opportunity to trial and error it. We can actually perform better, because you bet your top dollar when these secondary lockdowns happen, online engagement and revenue and orders is going to spike again. It's guaranteed, right? So what do we predict is going to happen when these things happen? This is my favorite part, guys. So 5 key predictions that we've made here, and these are based on patterns of behavior we've seen from both small, medium, and large businesses across the USA and EMEA. Right, we've got a plethora of customers across these different industry, territories. So first and foremost, stating the obvious here, guys, e-commerce is the new norm. We don't expect this momentum to shift away from e-commerce. So if you look at 2017, 2018, 2019, 10%, 12%, 14%. This is industry-wise. This is not Commerce Cloud, by the way. This is an industry report we've looked at. So this is including all e-commerce platforms. We're expecting the holiday revenue this year to be 30% of your overall revenue online. So yeah, holiday revenue has been made up in this manner, 2017, 2018, 2019. That's the holiday revenue that's being transacted online, you can see here, versus bricks and mortar. We anticipate that e-commerce, and this is probably a conservative anticipation, by the way, guys, because it's going to be winter. So a lot of people aren't going to be wanting to go out with this crisis increasing in cases. We're going to see 30% of your revenue come from online during this holiday period, which will be the largest percentage of holiday transactions in holiday history. So if you're not prepared to fulfill a tremendous increase in orders for this holiday season, that's Black Friday, that's Christmas, that's all the key areas during the holiday season, get prepared, because we're expecting it to be the largest e-commerce engagement for any holiday period we've ever seen. Prime Day being pushed back. So this is one of the predictions I mentioned earlier that we're hoping to find out if we were right or not. So Prime Day actually got pushed back twice, and it just happened last week. But what that did was it decreased the gap between Prime Day and Black Friday. So those of you familiar with Black Friday, those of you who see business increases from Black Friday, we anticipate that this is going to have a negative impact on Black Friday, because we think that Prime Day being so close to Black Friday now is going to take approximately 10% away from the Black Friday period. Why? Customers have been experiencing lack of fulfillment. Customers have been experiencing lack of stock. The spikes have decreased the customers' trust in their most beloved brands. Prime Day is 50 days earlier. I'm going to do my holiday shopping during Prime Day to avoid disappointment. So a lot of customers have gone and done their holiday shopping already, just because of the unreliability they've experienced for online transactions during this pandemic. So we anticipate a 10% dip from Black Friday will have gone to Prime Day. We'll find out if we were right about that in the next few weeks, okay? And the last mile delivery, we anticipate is going to run out of capacity. Now, guys, if you have not prepared to fulfill 2 to 3 times your usual amount of orders during the holiday period, we strongly advise you make this preparation now. We saw already a significant decline in orders being fulfilled across our platform for a number of our customers, a number of customers that aren't on our platform, because the increase was so severe. We know this increase is coming. Businesses must now prepare to avoid this. But unfortunately, no matter how much you prepare, I think there's a number of businesses out there, we believe a number of businesses out there are unprepared for this. And we're going to see a tremendous increase in packages being risk of being delayed or potentially not even being available. So this is something that everyone should be trying to avoid. But when the spike hits what we're expecting it to, unfortunately, this is something that's going to happen. Now, this is the problem. I like to talk about the opportunity as well, because the problem is a negative thing. Let's keep it positive. Your opportunity is here. So because customers have already been experiencing this lack of reliability, painful shopping experiences online, you as businesses, when fulfilling your orders or your services, you have an opportunity, if you can get that process in place, to upsell your customers a more reliable delivery option. We've seen I think we did a survey, and it was about 30% of customers said they'd happily pay a premium on top of their order value just to make sure the order actually came on time, because loads of orders have not been coming on time. That's an opportunity for you guys. If you can find some kind of additional fulfillment channel or something in place, you can also get your customers to pay that additional and make additional money, of course, from the pain to get those orders delivered on time and on budget. Now, if you don't do this, the big challenge you're going to have is a higher percentage of returns due to customer delivery disappointment. So a lot of customers were returning items earlier as well, because the delivery was said for 2 days and it came 2 weeks later, or it didn't come at all, so they canceled their order. So this is another thing we anticipate, high returns. Interestingly for you guys as well as this fulfillment challenge we have seen some interesting moves from the taxi businesses in the industry. Now, this may not happen, but in America, we saw Instacart and Lyft operate premium fulfillment channels. So you know this section here, delivery surcharges? They operated premium fulfillment channels for a few websites, and they saw their services. By the way, these guys are low in terms of their transactions, right? Less people on the streets, less people traveling, less taxi drivers needed. So this is a fantastic opportunity to create a win-win. We have a pain in e-commerce. We're seeing way too many orders. FedEx, UPS, and DHL are struggling to fulfill. 5% of orders not being fulfilled equals about 700 million packages. So it's a massive, massive problem. Uber, Lyft, Bolt, Instacart, these guys can offer a service, if you partner with them, where they actually operate as an additional charged delivery option for that customer. And as we said earlier, 30% of customers are happy to pay a higher percentage for the reliability of their package coming on time. So we are predicting that one, if not all of these taxi service providers are going to operate some kind of combined partnership with some of the leading commerce platforms in the market, or maybe even some of the niche platforms that just have tremendous traffic, to help to relieve some of the pain from FedEx, UPS, and DHL, because we're going to see a tremendous amount of orders going out of capacity for fulfillment this holiday season. So that's a big prediction. It's a very interesting one for me. And if you're not exploring that, we would say start exploring that. If you're someone who knows someone at Bolt high up, they should be looking at this as a way to fulfill the gap that they've had with the current lockdowns across Eastern Europe. And of course, they're in Western Europe too now as well. Okay, stores are going to become more relevant. So we know stores are closed, but this is another one of our predictions. Prediction 4 is, if you have stores, okay, you're not going to be able to open them to people going in and out, especially if the lockdown gets more severe. You can leverage them for BOPIS. We saw already, right? Buy online, pick up in store. So we expect, on average, because the customers are lacking trust and faith in the delivery channels that they have and the reliability of the delivery dates they're being given due to the increase in orders, if a customer is given the option to collect in store on said date, they would rather pick that because they know that the item is there and they know they're going to get it on the day that they're being told, as opposed to it not arriving or being delayed by 2 weeks, which is what a lot of customers have experienced off the back of the first lockdown. So stores, we're expecting to see buy online, pick up in store increase by an average of 90% year over year. That's a tremendous increase. By the way, we're probably being a bit cautious with that increase because you saw already in Q2 alone, it was a 125% increase on our platform. So if you take all the other platforms, the Bespoke, the Magentos, the Shopify, all the customers out there on e-commerce platforms, 90% is probably a bit conservative. So if you have stores, leverage stores, give the customer the option to pick up in store, alleviate that concern, that pain, and they will use that option. And even if you want, some of you cheeky retailers out there might actually charge customers to pick up in store. I don't believe in that personally. I think it's a bad idea. But if it's something that you need to do to make the logistics work, then do it. As long as the option's there, we know we're expecting to see a tremendous increase this holiday season for buy online, pick up in store. So if you have the option, leverage it. Contactless engagement methods in action as well. So click and collect, contactless services as well. We're expecting to see this spike during this holiday season. And the last one I wanted to talk about was social, leveraging social. So guys, TikTok, Instagram, video games, Animal Crossing, and there's another one now that everyone's playing, Among Us, right? All of these guys have seen a tremendous increase in consumer engagement. These are channels that, with the correct partnerships or the correct integrations, we expect the most innovative businesses, or at least the most ambitious businesses, to capitalize upon. What was the statistic earlier? 104% increase in transactions coming from social media channels. This is your opportunity, guys. So not only are we seeing a number of businesses operate try an outfit on TikTok or buyable images on Instagram, we're also seeing apps, video game apps, do in-game advertising for products that characters are wearing in the game. And these are actually getting tremendous traction from the consumers who are actually buying. So Valentino did a collaborative effort with Animal Crossing where they had one of the characters' clothing available. You click through from the game to the Valentino website and you can make a purchase of that exact item. It may sound extremely geeky, but Animal Crossing has millions of players. And so too does Among Us, the new one. So if there's an opportunity to strike a unique relationship with one of these rapid growing mobile app games to get your brand in front of customers, or even if it's just to leverage your TikTok or your Instagram channel, we anticipate everyone's going to be doing this. So if you have the opportunity to, you should also do it as well. It's a massive pool of footfall that you can capitalize on to bring customers to your web shop, to your site, to your product page. Guys, that is the final predictions. That's 5 predictions we've made, as well as all the data. The sources of this data are available here. I will share with Rainis and the rest of the team, Scott, to make sure that you guys can get hold of it. We have our own report that we do. If you want, you can go and check that out now. That's available on our Tableau website. Tableau is now a Salesforce company. So a lot of the data that I've spoken about is available for you guys to look at straight away. We also have a 2020 holidays prediction blog, which goes into the reasons why we've made our predictions, and also all the data behind those predictions for you guys. I hope you found this session valuable and helpful. If you're a retailer in B2C or B2B, I think there's data here relevant to many businesses. I'm happy to take questions if there's time. If not, please email me or contact me on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's the end of the session. I hope you found that helpful.